and picked a loser just a couple of days ago. The mayor of Las Vegas just came out of the woodwork. It's like, what are you trying to do here? Okay, now here's another thing, government picking winners and losers. It's wrong for you to have a private airplane, all right? That's just not patriotic. It's patriotic for you to pay a lot of taxes, but it's not patriotic for you to own an airplane. Go to Wichita, Kansas, where I grew up, where people all over that town have been raising families, putting kids through school, paying their bills, and actually paying their income taxes, so they couldn't work for the government, obviously, anymore. But the fact is, you see, there are thousands of workers at Beach, Boeing, Cessna, Learjet, Gulfstream. Now, that is unpatriotic to buy an airplane. You talk to those people a year from now when the volume of sales of airplanes goes down, just like the volume of trade goes down in Las Vegas, and you start seeing big layoffs there because of that. You got a government saying, I'm going to help you, Mr. and Mrs. Big Bank, and I'm going to put you out of business over here. So what it does is it puts us down to nothing. There is no investment in this country right now. Not one investment. It's all rank speculation. I mean, I would love to buy ExxonMobil stock or Conoco with oil at 40 bucks or 35. I know it's going to be higher than that a couple of years from now, but I'm not going to buy one share of those companies because our government is threatening to take away their profits and windfall profits. You can't invest $100 worth into stock in Exxon and know what you're getting any more than you could invest $100 into JP Morgan Chase or Citigroup. You have no earthly idea what you're getting, and that's what I'm telling audiences all over the place that I run into, because they'll, after deals like this where I talk for 45 minutes or an hour, somebody will raise their hand and say, where do you put your money? Well, if you're scared to death of inflation, which a lot of people are, you've got a few choices. You go into gold, which people are. I don't recommend that. In fact, I would tell you, if you're thinking about buying gold, I would just suggest you take cocaine instead. It's a speculative commodity. At least with cocaine, you feel good before it kills you. And that is not an official Texas A&M position, all right? And just for full disclosure, because I believe in full disclosure, even though our government doesn't, I've never actually taken cocaine, but I did see Pulp Fiction one time. So now, that's all it is. We're just, all of you, every one of you, everybody I meet a lot of people, not starter me, all they're doing, if you invest money right now in anything, all you're doing is speculating on, is the government going to pick me to win, or is the government going to pick me to lose? And until the government gets out of the picture, investors aren't going to do a thing. Now, what about the people that actually work for a living, add value to this country, called business people? What's their point of view? Well, see, the government's hacking off one part of the economy. They're just hacked off the investors, so they're there. But now here's, oh, here we go. All right, here's the business people's concerns. Going to raise income taxes on you. I may nationalize your industry. If you're in healthcare, health insurance, banks, I'm just going to take you over. Tired of you. Windfall profits tax. I remember being here in Houston the last couple of years telling people in the Chambers of Commerce meetings, I hope you make a whole lot of money in 2007. I just hope you don't make so much they call it a windfall profit and take it all from you. Not only do those businesses that work for an oil company that make a nice salary and might buy a, let's just put a tax on everybody for our carbon emission, aimed at carbon neutral after this year. I know I'm going to get government tax on everybody's smokestack and raise electric utility rates all over this country. Here's the biggest risk for Texas in particular. They pass, this is what government wants to do to you business people with the secret ballot for labor union organization. And you see, we can run jobs out of Texas just as easy. We have an advantage here. We have a cheap cost of living. We have a cheap cost of housing. If you work here, you're number one or number two in terms of corporate employee relocation. TV, I'm mayor of Michigan, governor of Michigan, come to Michigan. We'll not only destroy your company, but we'll run your entire industry out of the United States. And the reason is organized labor. And you think I'm woofing about that? Back in April, I was on Wall Street giving a speech, and on the front page of the New York Times, down the bottom right, call centers closed in Texas. I thought, Well, how'd that happen? Western Union closed a couple call centers in Texas. I thought, well, you know what? Construction industry's down. Maybe remittances to Mexico's down, and a lot of people use that to wire money. So maybe that's it. Well, I read the article and got down into it a little bit. What it was that the communication workers of America were going to organize labor unions at those 2 call centers, and they shut them down immediately. That's what business people do in America. When you organize labor union in your firm, you close it down and go away. We've been doing that for 25 years of running all of our jobs out to Mexico and China. We're still doing it as we speak. And that's our comparative advantage. You see, if I'm the governor of Michigan and I get tired of seeing your governor walk in and go, hey, got doing pretty good down here in Texas. We're pretty strong, just like Texans always do. Everybody, not just him. And when you're in Michigan and Indiana and Ohio, after you hear that about 5 times and you got 18% unemployment, you go, I'd like to equalize the playing field a little bit here. Let's just make it that everybody has to have organized labor all over the country. That'll fix it. That'll take away they can't get rid of our Mexican food. Can't take that away. Okay? But they can sure change our labor costs in a big way, and all of a sudden our labor rates go up and our cost of living goes up and the corporate profitability goes down, and our comparative advantage of attracting jobs in Texas is gone. And I could see governors wanting to do that just to get even with us, level the playing field. Now what I hear is this has gone to the back burner for now, but it's on the burner, so you might just kind of keep it in your mind. Excessive regulation. See, the nice thing is I call it partial full disclosure because at least the government is starting to tell the partial truth on occasion. And where I really noticed that was, what do they call these new leaders they're going to have out? Energy czar, car czar. For those of you history majors, a czar was the kind of person that ran the Soviet Union. So if we're going to socialize business and dictate what you can pay your people, where you can advertise, where you can travel, and how you can travel, and embarrass you and pull you into Congress and beat you over the head in front, publicly flog you, that's Soviet-style socialism at its finest. And I guarantee you, some business people that are 62 years old have been hiring people for quite a while and working their tail off to do it. They're going to wake up one day and go, this ain't worth it, pal. I'm cashing out. I'm shutting the doors. I'm taking my money and just quitting. See, if you're not old enough to remember what happens when your government makes promises it can't keep and possibly pay for, there's only 2 ways you do it. Higher taxes and print money. When I came out of college, there's a few of you younger than me. You were nice to hedge your bet on my age. I'm 54 years old and getting older by the minute, all right? I'm good with that. But when I came out of college in the 70s, guys and gals, I hit the 70% tax bracket by October. I woke up on October 1st and found out every dollar I made till the end of the year, I was going to keep 30 cents. And do you remember when Lady Bird was planting flowers all over Texas back in 1964? The top marginal tax bracket that year, in case you forgot, was 94%. That's what we're looking at here. I'm not picking on any individuals in government. The Republican government has sold this down too. The Democrats have helped do it all along too. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I don't want to know what your politics are. I'm a registered cynic now, all right? I don't believe any of them. So if you get mad at me because I say something about Republicans or Democrats, fine, I don't care. Don't call me about it. Call your congressman and tell him, or your congresswoman, and tell him, stop doing some of this stuff, because I promise you, business people are not going to do anything, and investors are not going to do anything when that white knight's sitting there with that sword saying, I'm going to cut off your head or your arm or your leg, and you don't know what it's going to be yet, and as long as you don't know what it's going to be, you're going to do exactly what everybody else has been doing this whole year, which is buy treasury securities or put your money in cash in a safety deposit box or buy gold.